Hi, this is Ted from the Devil's in the Detail. This week we've got Richard's Mercedes in. It's arrived. It's got a little bit dirty because the roads are wet, but basically the dealers washed it when it went for service and damaged it. So it's come here to be corrected, and hopefully we're going to try and get it better than it was when Richard purchased it. So there's a few minor scratches. It's not really bad, but the paint depths are quite low around the car, so I shall have to keep checking the depth while I'm polishing it. But we're going to prepare it for the polishing. Richard has already clay barred the car himself. Obviously it's got dirty since, so we'll get it washed and we'll check it. If it needs any more decontamination, it will get it. But I'm going to get on with the washing process, so I'll see you in a bit. I've just cleaned the wheel and put the carousel on to find the iron filings, and as you can see there's very little happening. So Richard must keep this really clean, because that's one of the cleanest wheels I've seen. So I'm going to get on and do the rest, and then we'll start the washing process. But looks like there's very little contamination anywhere on this car, so I'll get on with it. Right, the car's had its first coat of snow foam. We'll leave that to dwell for 5 minutes. Let it start emulsifying the dirt. And then we'll jet wash it off, and then it'll have another coat before we wash it. If I still think it needs another coat, it'll get another coat. I don't want to incur, put any scratches in the car while I'm cleaning it, even though I'm going to polish it. Get it as clean as we can, and then I'll check for contamination. Although I know it's already been clay barred, I will want to check it, so I'll get on with it. See you again in a bit. Right, we've washed the car, looking nice and clean. I have noticed while I was washing it some damage here on the bumper, but so far that's all I've noticed. So I'm going to blow dry it now. Got the blower out and I'm going to start drying it. I'm not going to make you watch me dry a car. Once it's dry, I'll get it into the light room and we'll start inspecting the paint. But I've checked for contamination and there isn't any. It's lovely and smooth, and no signs of iron filings or anything. So I'm going to dry it and see what it looks like. So I'll see you in a bit. I'm just going to take you around, show you some of these defects from the washing routines. All of this is really through bad washing. This is all on the rear bumper. All these marks, the swirls, scratches. This rear wing, as you can see, there's some deep marks. Some deep scratches across the door again. Deep scratches. There's lots of natural swirl marks from the washing, as you can see. These are, you know, general wash swirls which we'd expect from virtually any type of washing that is not safe washed. Again, on the front wing, more scratching over the wheel arch on the you can see more. They travel all the way across the whole of the wing. The bonnet also, you can see scratches that cover really the whole bonnet. It's just a matter of getting the light in the right position, but you can see generally it's quite badly marked. This side, not quite as bad, but still got scratches. And swirls. Quite a bad scratch in this area. And the same with the doors. A lot of this can be avoided, you know, using cleaner washing materials like your sponges or your wash mitts. Keeping them cleaner, you can avoid a lot of this. But when you go to a dealer, you can understand the people. They're being paid to wash the cars. They're not earning a lot of money, and so they're less likely to take the care and attention that you would like to see. So generally you can see that most of the car has got scratches, and really it's generally lost a lot of its luster. It's a lovely colour and probably deserves to shine a bit more, but if you look at the finish on this panel and then take it onto the door panel, you can see there's a difference in finish. And the two doors have been painted. For what reason I don't know, but we'll get on to the next part, which is measuring the paint depths. Probably the most important part before you polish a car is really knowing what you've got to play with, because unless it's 2K paint, we're only dealing with the lacquer, and we want to be able to understand what we've got to play with. Well, I did a comparison on an identical car on Saturday, and it was reading between 145 and 150 microns. So you can already see this, some point in its life, has already been polished. The doors that I believe have been painted, you can see the difference in thickness of paint. Now that's the sort of readings that we would want to start with. So to give you some understanding where the worst damage is on this rear quarter. It's on 125 microns. So comparing it to the door, which is 156, I will have to be lighter when polishing this rear quarter than I will the doors. We'll move down past the doors because the two doors, you know, you can tell by the readings that they've still got quite a lot of paint on. So let's just have a look at the front wing. Again, it's low. The bonnet, even lower. And that's really low. And this is the particular part I wanted to get some of the orange peel out of, but as you can see, the readings are that low that I'll only be able to give a light polish on the bonnet. Let's go down to the off side of the car and do a random. Again, that's low. That's low. Again. A little bit better. And a little bit better. So in my opinion, this car, when it was taken in part exchange and going up for sale, the dealers have polished it obviously to present it for sale. Now we all know that dealers or paint shops use heavy cut compounds on the hardest pads, and that's where all the lacquer's gone. So this car, I really wanted to get more luster because of the colour and get rid of some of the orange peel effect. And now I've got to change the way that I wanted to polish it. So what I'm going to try and do is remove the defects as lightly as I can, and that will naturally bring the luster of the paint back up. But it does mean that I'm not going to be able to get the sort of depth of finish that I would have liked to. But as we go along, I'll try and explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. You know, it's all about common sense, to be fair. You know, you have to use your common sense and experience to tell you how far you can go. The only problem being is that once this car is polished this time, I wouldn't really want to be polishing it again in the future. I mean, it looks like there's plenty of lacquer on the car, you know, by the orange peel that's on it, but you've seen the paint readings and my guess there isn't a lot left. So we'll see how we can get on. You know, it's going to have 2 stages of polish anyway, and like I say, I'll use my experience, you know, to see how much depth I can get out of it with what I've got to play with. And it should look lovely. I mean, it looks a nice car as it is, to be fair. If we get rid of the defects, you know, it'll naturally look better through any polishing. But, you know, I'd like to give it a little bit more, so we'll see how we go. So I'll see you a bit later, and we'll get on with it. Thanks for watching. Just showing some of the lower bumper, which has got some deep scratches in. I've just, let's bring the light round. You can see there's some staggered scratches that I'd normally probably see when some rose bush or something like that privet has gone along the bumper. I've just finished this rear quarter that was badly scratched. I haven't been able to chase every scratch out of it, but as you can see, it's now a million times better. Also, we managed to get the start of matching. There's some product still on there, some compound that needs wiping off. But it's starting to look really nice. I have gone a bit more than I expected to. I've used green 3M medium on orbital. I've been using quite firm orange on the mini orbital, and then I'm finishing off with a rotary with a really soft pad to try and lift the finish, which I'm sure you'll agree, it's lifted a lot more than it was earlier. I'm now going to start removing these scratches as much as I can anyway. You can see somebody's, from the last time it was compounded, has left the paste in the parking sensors, so we'll get that out as well, and in that one. So this is where I'm doing next, see if we can get that better. I'll show you later anyway. Right, I'm going to get on, I'll see you in a bit. This is the same part of the lower bumper. Still got a couple of deep scratches that I'm not being able to remove easily. See, just there. I'm going to have another go when I get to this part that's badly scratched, but as you can see, that's a long way from what it was earlier. So I'm going to crack on and keep going, see if we can get it better. Well, I've not been able to get every single scratch out, but you can see it's a lot better. And now the difference between the two panels is a lot closer than it was earlier. So that's the rear quarter and this end of the bumper that are now done. So next I think I'm going to do this roof panel. This is not in great shape. Looks frosty, looks like the lacquer's blown a little bit. So I'm going to do this next. I'm just going to get it masked off and get on with it. I'll see you in a bit. Just thought I'd show you a bird's eye view of the sort of wash damage that's in the door panel. This is now the near side rear door. As you know, yesterday we finished the rear quarter. So today I've finished the tailgate and I'm about to start the door. I've turned the main lights off to give you some idea of what I'm looking at while we're polishing, so we can actually see the scratches. I'll move this light down and hopefully this will show up more of the damage to the paint. So I'm going to have a go at this door now. Which isn't looking that pretty at the moment. We'll be doing the sill cover as well while we're there. Around the door handles always get a little bit nasty, as you can see. Some deeper scratches and wash swirling. Somebody has probably been leaning on this part of the panel. So anyway, you know, this is general, it's all over, and we're going to get at it now and see what we could do with it, and hopefully we'll be making it a lot better. We'll see in a bit. I've just completed the door. You remember where all them scratches were? They're now gone. So I'm going to give it the final wipe down now and then move on to the next panel. But coming along a treat. Right, it's late afternoon on Tuesday, and I've managed to virtually get this side and, well, up to halfway across the wing. I'm up to at the moment. Completed the passenger door, the rear passenger door, rear quarter, the roof at the rear spoiler, the rear bumper, which took longer than any of the other parts really. A lot of damage in that, but it's a lot better. And the tailgate. So just have a look at the finish on this side. And we can compare it to the finish on this side. So although there's a lot of marks in it and it's taking more stages of polish. You can see I've got 3 polishers, 3 different heads. Well, actually 4 different heads, because there's another one there. So in some places it's had to have some heavy cutting to remove some deeper scratches, but it's worth it. So gonna look a picture when it's all done. My only concern is the bonnet. The bonnet has got really low paint readings and its finish is not the best, and there's lots of scratches in it, so I'm gonna have to you could probably see a few of the scratches. I'm going to try a really light polish on it first and see what I can get out. Like I say, it's really the only concern I've got. Although the paint readings was quite low this side, I've still managed to cut out 99% of the defects. So I'm pleased. I'd like to have took out a bit more of the orange peel, but again, with the low paint readings, I didn't want to take the chance. But it does look nice. So I'm just now going to finish off this front wing before I go home, and then tomorrow I'll be on the bonnet and see what we can actually do with that. And I think some of these scratches that are in it are that deep that I don't think I'll be able to remove them, but we'll see how it goes. I didn't think I'd get most of these out, but I have, so we'll see. So I'll see you again tomorrow, and thanks for watching. Good morning, it's Wednesday morning. I've arrived at work with the side now complete, so that's buttoned up and I'm about to start on the bonnet. To finish off, the chrome mouldings was looking quite oxidised and acid etched, so I've put some Menzerna 250 on a cotton wool pad, a makeup pad if you like, and I've given them a clean and they've come up quite well. But even though I've already spent some time decontaminating the windows, I thought, but listen, and it's probably because these 2 doors have been painted and the body shop has oversprayed the windows. So I've now masked up, as you can see, all the rubbers, because cleaning the windows with what I'm going to do can get quite messy, and this will save a lot of cleaning up after. So it's worth the 5 minutes masking up. What I'm going to be using, and I've just spent 10 minutes looking for my Siri glass that I can't find. So I've hunted in the back of the cupboard and managed to find some old, as it happens, Alfred's intensive glass cutter. So I'm going to have to use that for now. On a rayon pad on the polisher, and I'm going to put my phone in the tripod so you can watch. It's not going to take long to do it, but it'll give you an idea of how we polish the glass, and then when the car is sealed at the end, the glass will be sealed as well, because like paint, the glass is porous too, and it will hold contamination. So before I put any sealants on it, or water repellents or anything like that, they have to be squeaky clean. So I'm going to show you how we clean them. People have commented in the past, how do we get the glass looking so good? Well, I'll show you. So bear with me while I set the phone up, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, I don't know how well this will come across, but at least it will give you an idea of you know, some of the differences that we do that you'd never see. We don't normally show this sort of thing, but I'm going to, like I say, rayon pad. I'm going to put not too much of this because it'll spray everywhere. It's a little bit thinner than the normal stuff that we use, but I'm sure it's going to do a job, and it's going to get me out the cack because I've mislaid my cerium oxide. So here we go. Just turning the speed down low because I don't want it spraying all over the car that I've polished. Right, we'll just get that wipe off. Use a bit of glass cleaner just to lubricate it. And that's lovely and clean now. So I'll repeat the process over the rest of the glass down the side of the car. It will be done all over. And then when I come to seal the car, I can seal the windows as well. And knowing now that it's going to bond properly. Whereas if you try putting anything on top of another product, it's less likely to stick and last. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be doing it every time you wash the car. You want to be able to get some durability out of the products. The same as tyre shine. Before you put your tyre shine on, you should always scrub the tyres clean, and then your tyre shine will last longer. And it's the same with a lot of the other products that we use. Everything's got to be really clean. Well, glass gets overlooked a lot of the time, you know. A little bit of glass cleaner doesn't remove the contamination. So I'm going to carry on now and finish these windows, and then I know this side is finished, and then I can carry on with the bonnet, and I haven't got to come back. So I thought I'd show you. I'm going to do the others, and I'll see you a bit later when I'm on the bonnet. Hope you're enjoying seeing some of this. The other thing I wanted to mention is that this has come on one of my half-price offer, and I wanted to really say that just because it's half price doesn't mean it's half the quality. I'm doing exactly the same job with exactly the same products. In this case, not the windows, because I can't find the more expensive, better product, but it still does the job. But you get exactly the same work that you would for twice the money. I don't do disappointment, and you know, yes, it costs me in my labour to get the car out. I feel happy giving it back. Um, and I suppose Richards took advantage of the offer, and I'm going to make sure he gets his car back looking lovely. So if anybody is thinking about having a polish, don't for 1 minute think that because I'm doing it cheap that the work's going to be cheap, because it's not. You'll be able to see this when it's finished, and it'll be exactly the same job that I would probably get 2 or 3 times the money for. So I just wanted to say that, and I'll see you on the next video. Should be a bit later on. Thanks for watching. Bye. Well, the Merc's nearly finished. Tomorrow we've just got to add the sealant, do the tyres, clean all the door shuts. I've literally just unmasked it, and I'm really pleased with the outcome. I dare say that Richard's going to be pleased. All the lights have been polished. And everything is looking lovely. So, should be ready for collection tomorrow afternoon. And let's hope the rain stops. Yep, very pleased. Right, see you tomorrow with the final walk around when it's all completed. As you can see, I've now finished Richard's Mercedes. Everything's cleaned up, tyres done, shut and sealed, and it's now ready for collection. It's had its challenges on the way, primarily through the paint depth readings being really low, but I've still managed to get out 90% of the marks in the car, and it looks really well presented, and I'm sure outside it's going to look even better. I'm really pleased with the results. As you can imagine, I was a bit apprehensive with the paint depths as to how much I could get the depth and the shine back up, but with a bit of thought, care and good products, Menzerner compounds that I use, and combination of 3 or 4 of them, it's come up really well. So there we have it. I'm sure Richard's going to arrive shortly, and I'm sure he's going to be pleased. Thanks for watching these videos. I hope you've enjoyed it on its journey through our shop, and look forward to the next one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.